The importance of knowing that the mainstream media lies about vaccines cannot be overstated. In recent years, the topic of vaccination has become increasingly polarized, with some people passionately advocating for the importance of vaccines, while others express concerns about their safety and efficacy. However, a significant factor contributing to the confusion and misinformation surrounding vaccines is the role of mainstream media. Many people rely on mainstream media outlets for their news and information, and when it comes to vaccines, these outlets often present a biased and inaccurate picture. One of the primary ways in which mainstream media distorts the truth about vaccines is by exaggerating their benefits and downplaying their risks. For example, media outlets often report on the importance of vaccines in preventing the spread of infectious diseases, but they rarely discuss the potential side effects and adverse reactions that can occur. This creates a skewed perception of the risk-benefit ratio of vaccines, leading many people to believe that they are completely safe and effective. However, the reality is that vaccines, like any other medical intervention, carry risks and can cause harm to some individuals. Another way in which mainstream media lies about vaccines is by dismissing legitimate concerns and criticisms as anti-vaxxer propaganda. This label is often used to silence and marginalize individuals who question the safety and efficacy of vaccines, and to create the impression that anyone who expresses concerns about vaccines is somehow ignorant or misinformed. However, this approach ignores the fact that there are many credible scientists, researchers, and healthcare professionals who have raised legitimate concerns about vaccines, and who are not motivated by a desire to spread misinformation, but rather by a desire to protect public health. Furthermore, mainstream media often fails to report on the complex and nuanced issues surrounding vaccines, instead relying on simplistic and sensationalized headlines. For example, media outlets may report on the efficacy of a particular vaccine in preventing a specific disease, but fail to discuss the broader context of the disease, such as its prevalence, transmission, and treatment options. This lack of nuanced reporting creates a simplistic and misleading narrative about vaccines, which can lead to a lack of informed decision-making among the public. In addition, mainstream media has a history of collaborating with pharmaceutical companies and government agencies to promote vaccines and silence critics. For example, many media outlets have received funding from pharmaceutical companies to produce pro-vaccine content, and some have even partnered with government agencies to develop pro-vaccine propaganda campaigns. This creates a clear conflict of interest, as media outlets are more likely to promote the interests of their funders and partners, rather than provide accurate and unbiased information to the public. The consequences of mainstream media's lies about vaccines are far-reaching and profound. By presenting a biased and inaccurate picture of vaccines, mainstream media contributes to a lack of informed decision-making among the public, which can lead to unnecessary harm and risk. For example, some people may be convinced to vaccinate their children without fully understanding the potential risks and benefits, while others may be deterred from vaccinating due to exaggerated concerns about safety. Furthermore, the suppression of legitimate concerns and criticisms about vaccines can lead to a lack of accountability and transparency in the vaccine industry, which can perpetuate a culture of corruption and neglect. In conclusion, the importance of knowing that mainstream media lies about vaccines cannot be overstated. By understanding the ways in which mainstream media distorts the truth about vaccines, individuals can begin to make more informed decisions about their health and the health of their loved ones. It is crucial to approach vaccine information with a critical and nuanced perspective, recognizing that mainstream media often presents a biased and inaccurate picture. By seeking out credible and independent sources of information, individuals can gain a more accurate understanding of the complex issues surrounding vaccines and make decisions that are in the best interests of their health and well-being. Ultimately, the truth about vaccines will only be revealed through a commitment to transparency, accountability, and independent investigation, rather than relying on the biased and misleading narratives presented by mainstream media.